Hi, my name is Priya Kalidas and I am playing Rima.
My name is Rez Kempton and I play Pal in the play Khandan.
Well, I'm Sudha Butcher and I'm playing Jito.
Well, the literal meaning of Khandan means family, but the actual term itself means so much more.
Khandan means family, I mean, obviously literally, but also, I mean, again, I would say as a Punjabi, you know, your Khandan is what makes you who you are.
It's about unity, it's about loyalty, love.
Love, you know, first thing, family and connection.
Love, support and tolerance.
The play's about a family.
It's sort of set in, you know, it's really in the kind of kitchen living area of the Gill family.
The play starts with the character of Jito, who plays my mum.
At the heart of it is my relationship with my son. He has decided to go again, the family to have a shop which she and her husband have built up from a corner shop into this sort of cost cutter kind of big enterprise. And he decides to kind of go against the tradition and sell that and do something different.
It's a wonderful depiction of a family dealing with relationships, cultural conflict, tradition and ambition.
It's a sort of intergenerational, you know, conflict as well as humour, comedy.
Generational gaps, you know, the kind of immigrant story about one day wanting to be able to go back home, and the new generation that are here, you know, not having that connection. And I think that's quite a universal story for people. Also, the responsibility that is put upon male in that particular culture to say that now you're the head of the family, now you lead the family, you have to be responsible for it, provide for that financially as well as, you know, supporting the other members of the extended family. So the play is a contrast and the battle between, I suppose, the mother and the son, essentially.
What I love about my character is that even though she's from India, people's perception of her may be different to what you actually expect.
I think he's got this fearlessness, my character in the play. He's got this fearlessness, he's a risk taker, he'll just go out and that entrepreneurial spirit, I think, it's fun to play that.
She's the sort of matriarch of the Gill family. She's a widow and she kind of, yeah, keeps them all in check.
She's ambitious, she's got a lot of fire, she's quite defiant, and she's just not what you expect.
You know, he's got swagger, he's a confident man, he knows what he wants, he's you know, happy to take a risk. I mean, the venture that he goes on in the play, this business venture that he sets up is quite ambitious, and I like that about someone who, you know, against all odds is going to try and get his dream.
For me, as a Punjabi, I can totally relate to her. You know, she's a sort of survivor, first-generation immigrant family. You know, we all know these women, you know. It's sort of in our DNA as a Punjabi woman.
What attracted me to this production was the fact that it was wonderfully written. I think they're really interesting characters. I think it's an interesting insight into a family with the cultural layer, but also it's a universal story.
It was a brilliantly written piece. Gurpreet Kaur, who's written the play, is a fantastic writer. I've known of her work before. Obviously, there's a history to the rep as well, with her previous play, Besti.
What really attracted me to this production, well as the fact that it's a brilliantly written play, as a Punjabi, I could really relate to Jito. She's a survivor. She's, you know, sort of strong and very, very funny. And also the fact that there's so much Punjabi in it, in terms of the rhythms of how the English is written.
Lots of people can relate to these characters and to the drama.
This is such a universal story, not just a South Asian story. This is a story that spans anybody who has family. An Irish family could relate to this story about land and, you know, aspirations and dreams and hopes. And anyone can relate to the story. And I just thought that that was a fantastically well-told story that, yes, a South Asian audience will identify with, but also anybody coming to the theatre for a night out.
I thought it was just wonderful how it represents different generations.
It's just a sort of epic family piece, and I think really that's just a brilliant thing to get your teeth into.
What I like about Gurpreet's writing is that she's a really great storyteller, but she's also, her characters are so real. Each character I can sort of relate to, or somebody that I know has their mannerisms or has their way of thinking. And she just uses just wonderful language, and each character is very individual.
It's funny as well. There's a lot of comedy and humour in the play, but not set up as jokes. It's just within the writing. So it's very natural dialogue that people are speaking, but there's moments in it that will make you laugh and cry at the same time.
Well, what I really love about Gurpreet's writing is that it's really resonant universally, and yet it's very, very particular to being Punjabi. So, you know, as a Punjabi, you will get lots and lots of layers, but actually if you don't understand Punjabi, it's, you know, very, very universal.
The rehearsals have been fantastic. It's the first time that I've actually worked at the Rep, so it's been great. It's such a wonderful building. The team that work here have been very supportive, and we've got great studio space. And I just think that having the chance to work with such great team and a great cast and a wonderful director is a real amazing opportunity.
Well, the rehearsals have been amazing because the cast is so solid, and you know, we get on really well. So we've sort of very quickly set up a sort of mini Khandan family, and I mean, they've been very fast. It felt like it's flown by because there's so much to learn, not just in terms of the speeches, but it's the most business. You know, that we have a working kitchen, so we're choreographing all the kind of business. And also what, you know, the writer and Roxanne also feels that, you know, everything, that this family is really active. So there's activity as well as they're very active in how they relate to each other. So there's no dull moment.
Oh, it's brilliant to be back at the Rep. I started off here, you know, it kind of all kicked off for me here, you know, when I did a play here before. And to come back to this new amazing building, you know, it's been renovated, spent so much money here. Roxanne is just such an amazing director. It's so much fun working with her. Got a great cast. I'm having a great time.
It's been really fantastic for me to come back to the Rep because I'm also the artistic director of Tamasha Theatre Company, and we've got a long history of being here that goes, when I was writing my biog, I realised it went from you know, 1993 to 2007. And of course, we co-commissioned with Birmingham Rep and the Royal Court East is East. And the very first performance was in the studio. So I'm particularly thrilled to be back here.
Birmingham's a great community. It's extremely diverse. I've actually loved having a chance to kind of walk around and enjoy Birmingham, and there's some great venues. I love the canal.
I love Birmingham. My first few jobs when I started as an actor happened to be in Birmingham, so I've got a very, you know, I've got a love for this city, even though I'm not from Brum. You know, I do have a love for this city. So yeah, I've got lots of fond memories.
I think the great thing about Khandan is what Gurpreet has managed to create is a story that's moving, that's funny, and heartbreaking, just a real amalgamation of feelings that I think the audience will take away with them.
I think audiences, I hope, will be entertained, they'll be informed, they'll find, I hope it will make them look at their own families, and it will, what they'll take away is a sort of tale of survival against the odds, and the sort of deep connection of love and blood sitting at the heart of the piece.
I think they will take away an amazing story. I think they'll have a great night in the theatre. They'll have been entertained and moved.
Don't miss it. You will be gutted because it's not on for long. We're only here for 2 weeks. Some wonderful characters, an amazing play. You've got to see it.
I think as an audience member, you will get a lot from coming to see this play. It'll move you, it'll make you laugh, and it'll make you cry. So come along.
Well, I very much hope that you'll come and join us for a cup of cha, because there's plenty of that boiling in the kitchen. alongside lots of other tempers and humour. So do come along and raise your cups.